What's going on, JRD Nation? Brandon Epstein here from the Jump Rope Dudes to answer the question, can you jump rope while pregnant? First things first, you're probably thinking to yourself, who is this dude to talk to me, a woman, about whether I should be jumping rope while I'm pregnant? He's never gonna be pregnant, and you are 100% right, which is why I'm gonna be passing you off to our JRD coach and community manager, Kathy. Kathy has already jumped rope through 2 different pregnancies, and she's gone through some significant weight loss transformations after those pregnancies. So she is definitely the best person to answer this question. But I want to do a quick little intro letting you guys know that she's going to be coming in here and answering that question for you guys. I personally just had my first child. Well, I didn't, my wife did. But my wife doesn't jump rope, so I couldn't even ask her or think about whether that's a good thing to do or not because it's just not part of her fitness routine. So the best person to answer this question is Kathy. Kathy, take it from here.
What's going on, JRD Nation? Kathy here, coming to you to talk to you about pregnancy, jumping rope, who should do it, who shouldn't do it, and some general information about it. So I'm talking to my dudettes. If you're a dude, you can skip on by this video, or if you're a soon-to-be dad, this might be beneficial for you to watch. Before I touch base on jumping and pregnancy, let's just talk about exercise in general and why it's so important to stay healthy and active during your pregnancy. I mean, there's a million reasons, but the top ones for me when I was pregnant, it improved my mood. I was a happier person. It improved my sleep quality. I was able to sleep much better at night. It reduces your risk of gestational diabetes. So I was lucky that I did not have gestational diabetes during either of my pregnancies. And it also really sets you up for a much easier labor and delivery. And one thing that I thought of as I jump roped, and really any exercise, even if it's walking, when you're in labor, your contractions generally last between 30 to 60 seconds. So for me and jumping rope, I jumped rope for my entire pregnancy, 9 months of a pregnancy. I was on my mat the day before I had my son. Some people think I'm crazy, but that's beside the point. But the thing with contractions, your contractions last between like 30 to 60 seconds on average. So what I would do is I would pick up my jump rope, set my timer, and I would do intervals of 30 seconds. So I would jump rope for 30 seconds and think in my mind, this is how long a contraction is. It's not that long when you think about it. It's just doing that work and then resting and taking a break and then getting back into it. So it really helped with my mindset. That's one of the things that I'll talk about a little later. So let's get right into it. Why is jump rope important during a pregnancy? Who should be doing it and who shouldn't be doing it? Let's talk about it. Okay, so first things first. If you've never jump roped before, this is not something I would advise you to start when you learn that you're pregnant. Rule of thumb with pregnancy and exercise is you can continue on whatever exercise you were doing prior to becoming pregnant. So if you've never picked up a rope before and you find out you're pregnant, unfortunately, it's not the time to start. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, the second thing you want to do is check with your doctor. And this goes for any form of exercise, jump rope, running, weight training. When you have that first visit with your doctor, ask them, make sure that it's okay for you to continue on with that sort of exercise. It's now raining, so let's go bring this party inside. So, as I was saying, once you get that approval from your doctor, the next step, and what I would recommend doing, my next tip for you, is to really hone in on your form, the fundamentals of jumping rope. Jumping rope is actually considered a low impact exercise because think about it. A jump rope is this thin, right? So you should only be coming off the ground 1-2 inches max to let that rope slide under your feet. So especially as your pregnancy progresses and as your belly gets a little bit bigger, you want to make sure that you're not coming up too high off that ground because the impact is going to be a little bit more. So my main tip, just remember only 1 to 2 inches off the ground to let that rope slide under.
Here I am at about 32 weeks pregnant. You can see I'm adding in some side swings. That's always great for an active recovery to bring your heart rate down a bit. Changing up your footwork, a lot of boxer skip, crisscrosses if I was feeling good that day. But it's all about having fun, staying active, and you can see I'm only coming up about 1 to 2 inches off the ground.
So the next thing that I did was I really watched my heart rate as I was jumping. I use an Apple Watch. I know a lot of people use the Whoop, Fitbit, whatever it is that you're using. Check in on your heart rate frequently during your jump sessions. If you don't have a heart rate monitor, that's fine. Just listen to your body. You should never be so out of breath that you can't speak a full sentence. And during your pregnancy, you'll find that you get out of breath a lot quicker than you would if you weren't pregnant. So you never want to overdo it. Jumping in intervals, doing the workouts like the jump rope dudes have on their channel. I think the ultra beginner workout and their beginner workouts are perfect during really any trimester. But check in on your heart rate. You never want to overdo it.
So this is me at about 38 weeks pregnant. This is an example of how I would jump in intervals to prep my mind and body for those contractions. So 30 seconds on and about 30 seconds off.
So the last tip I want to talk about is always listen to your body and never compare yourself to someone else. Our pregnancies are so different from each other. Just because I jumped pregnant doesn't mean that you have to do it, or just because I felt comfortable doing it doesn't mean that you're gonna feel comfortable doing it. So always listen to your body. I know the dudes preach this all the time. If you wake up with shin splints, you can barely walk, or if you have calf pain, what do we say? Listen to your body, rest as needed. So the same thing goes for pregnancy. It's so important, if not even more important. Listen to your body. If your belly starts to feel too heavy as you progress during your pregnancy, that baby gets bigger and bigger by the week, by the day, towards the end. So you might feel great one day, and then you might wake up and you might feel like your belly weighs 10 pounds in itself. So always listen to your body. If that point hits and you feel like it's too much, or if you're feeling too heavy, that's the time to probably pack it in, stop, do some other form of exercise such as walking where it's much easier on your belly. So the last tip, listen to your body and don't ever compare yourself to someone else. So to answer the question, can I jump rope while pregnant? There really is no yes or no answer to that. It's all based on you, what you've been doing prior to becoming pregnant, and how comfortable you are moving throughout your pregnancy. So it's not a yes or no answer. It's really all based on you and how you feel. So if you have any other questions, concerns, drop a comment. I'd be more than happy to continue this conversation. I hope this was helpful. And if you are pregnant, huge congratulations. What an exciting time this is. Stay active, stay healthy, not only for you, but for your baby as well.